Hi, everybody. I'm immigration lawyer John Khosravi. Thank you for joining us on this live session that we have every Tuesday, 4 p.m. Pacific time, 7 p.m. Eastern, where I take your questions for half an hour about U.S. immigration law, general educational purposes only, not intended as individual legal guidance, here on YouTube, LinkedIn, Instagram, and TikTok for hopefully however long we can do that. If you're a TikTok watcher, I'll repeat this to the show many times. Just follow us on YouTube is the best way to keep in touch in case TikTok does go away. YouTube page is JQK Law or Immigration Talk. It should pop up, or just put my name, John Khosravi, JQK Law, and you'll see that. But having said that, let's jump into it. Take your questions about U.S. immigration. Do our best to answer it as we can. We don't really have questions. We're going to get a lot of questions about how long things take, and there's no idea we know that. There's no way to know that. But having said that, let's jump into your questions. So let's look as people stream in and ask some stuff. I'm getting the systems all ready. Let's see. So, okay, so I'm gonna give it a. I'm like, I could banter about the fires, about this new bill Congress passed, but I haven't read the bill, so I don't want to speculate too much on it until I read the whole thing. But having said that, most of the people who are gonna ask questions here probably shouldn't be worried about that. You're not committing crimes or something like that, so it's not a big deal. Okay, so Muhammad asked, my wife is in America for past 10 years. Can she apply for business papers? So if your wife overstayed in the U.S. and doesn't have status, there's no business case that she could do. She's going to be subject to all sorts of bans and stuff like that. Now, if she leaves and gets like an E2 visa, for example, it's a temporary worker, temporary investor visa, she has to apply for a waiver, and the waiver has to be approved. So, Muhammad, it's super complicated. If you're U.S. citizen, for example, and you're married, maybe there's something you do there. But we got to really dig in deep into your individual case to see what's going on and what's the best way to help you. So go to our website, jqqlaw.com/contact to start the process of scheduling a consultation. Again, that's jqqlaw.com/contact. Judith, good evening to you as well. Lauren asked, does it mean my husband's work permit got approved because it says approval case decision rendered? I don't know. I got to see the whole thing, but just wait in the mail. Next week, you'll know, or go to your online account. They'll have approval notices. And you'll know from there, Lauren. Thank you, Mohammed, for the gift. Good evening to you, Tafsir, as well. Good. Wow, we got a lot of people joining us. Thank you so much. So just shoot out your questions. Majid asked, what to do if biometrics appointment is do not deliver a mail notification? They'll probably just reschedule it, but contact USCIS, let them know what happened to redo it. And just the main thing is make sure you get the next one. If you have an online account, keep checking there. It'll get posted there faster. But you need to call USCIS to confirm they have the right mailing address to see what happened. Because if they send you a new one, and you don't have an online account, or maybe they send a green card later or work authorization, it's going to go to the wrong place. So you need to figure out the address is correct and just what happened. Thank you for the gift, Majid. DiCaprio says, what should I do after 2 months of green card interview? I haven't heard anything. I need to know more information about your case and what happened. Sometimes we send a letter to the officer who interviewed you, but I wouldn't want to send a letter to them saying, hey, what happened, without like knowing that you don't have any issues. Maybe you have some major issues. That could be it. CE user, good to see you. Good afternoon to you too as well. Thanks for joining. It's been a while since we saw your name. Tapsy asks, please, USCIS took action on my I-45 case. Is adjustment status based in December? I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. It's just, you guys see what happens. I don't know anything about your case. DiCaprio, I think we answered your question. Yeah. Oh, a lot of people joining us. Mr. Grinch says, what's the longest you ever seen a judge take to make a decision after merits hearing? I don't handle immigration court hearings at all, so I'm not a good person to ask that question. Christopher says, does the use of fraudulent passport or port of entry still count as valid entry for adjustment? So if you say fraudulent passport, you're probably saying you use a U.S. citizen's passport. No, it doesn't count as lawful entry. In fact, it's the worst possible thing you could do at immigration because it's a thing called false claim to citizenship on arrival. There's very rare exceptions that up unless you do asylum or I think U visas might have exception. I don't do those, but if they let you in with a U.S. passport, it's not considered. It's not considered admission because you weren't inspected. So and also you have this false claim to citizenship. So it's a bad situation there. Hopefully that wasn't the case. But that's that. All right. So somebody at my office. Okay. So I'll get that stuff in later. All right. So let's go some more questions. How to connect my account with my case? That's a Maggie, it's complicated. I don't have an answer for it. Call USCIS, but their system suck. Cam says documents required for military and pro in place. Well, showing the relationship, that you relate to the persons in the military, their paperwork related to, being in the military, as well as the form I-131, filing fees, personal evidence, also just that kind of stuff. It's all, there's checklists for this stuff online on USCIS.gov. So let's just go there. Why ask me? Elon says, do you think Trump will ban the asylum application? We can't ban asylum, just different ways of doing it. Top says, can I have your contact? Yeah, jqqlaw.com/contact. That's the place to go. jqqlaw.com/contact. Majid, call USCIS and see what you can do about setting that up. Wine says, is it possible running asylum process and H-1B request at the same time? It is, but for H-1B, you have to maintain some sort of lawful status in the U.S. if you're doing it in the U.S. Arnaud says, how can I get in the U.S. from Belgium, Europe? What visa? I have a master's degree. Well, there's a whole gamut of it. I mean, you come visit on a tourist visa, you come on a student visa. If you find employers, they can do H visas or green card visas. If you have extraordinary ability, you could do EB-1A. If you have work in national interest, you can do NIW EB-2. If you're investing a lot of money, you can do EB-5. If you're married to a U.S. citizen green card holder, you go that route. So there's some ideas. Nikki says, green card expired way past renewal. Can you still renew or need to reapply? Well, it depends on what kind of green card. Is it a 2-year green card or a 10-year green card? What's the reason it's way past renewal? Are we inside the U.S. or outside the United States? There's a lot of information we need, so schedule a consultation. C user asks, can ESTA overstay adjust status with marriage to U.S. citizen? Yes, they can. We do that frequently. Nana says, after you're done submitting your affidavit of support and after 2 weeks later your sponsor or father marries, do you have to submit a new affidavit of support when you go for the interview? No, not really. They don't ask for updates and stuff like that. I mean, they always can, but I've never seen it happen. Besides, O2 says, besides our immigration laws, what other laws are illegal immigrants exempt from following? No one's exempt from following any of these laws. It's not a matter of the laws being exempt. It's a matter of enforcing. And so enforcement's it. Hamid says husband. I'm not sure what that you're talking about. But the authorizing officer is someone else. Hamid, I'm not sure what. We're answering a lot of questions. So you got to put all the same question, the full question in the same place. Thank you for the gift. Okay, I've sent the invite by accident to somebody. I'm not sure what's going on. Okay, you're welcome, C user. Good to see you. It's been a busy day. A lot of people are hiring us, which means I got to send a lot of contracts out, a lot of consultations. So a little slammed. We're getting a bunch of messages right now from work. All this happening. Go if you're ask your questions. We're here for asking questions. Shoot them out. Paola says, is there a way to interview in the U.S. if you have one illegal entry as an infant? You got to have an exception. So you have to have by interview. I think you mean for a green card. And so you have to have, it's be 245I, wishing you a good year to us here. So you have to have 245I, maybe 240. As a kid, yeah, it's be exceptions, but probably not. But if you have illegal entry, you need to have some sort of lawful entry or fall within very small exceptions to be able to still do the green card in the U.S. without leaving and getting a waiver and all that. Chris says, if I travel outside the U.S. for over 108 days or less than a year, will my N-1 be denied? Not necessarily, but they're going to go towards denying it. You have to be able to explain to the officer why you left, where your ties to the United States, because you've had an absence of more than 6 months, less than a year. And then it's going to go up to their discretion where they're going to approve it. Hamid says, should I tell about employer? Hamid, I don't know what you're talking about. VW says, I came on a student visa F1 to U.S. and I got married with a U.S. citizen. I didn't receive my work permit. Okay, I mean, I don't know. I didn't file your case, and sometimes the government takes a while. H says, does RFE notice get uploaded online as well? I got an RFE, but I don't see it in my portal. They're supposed to, but the online system is not consistent. Dwayne says, can't be added to lease, no SSN. We live together. Is there any around this? Is a lease a must? It's not a must. It's good to have it, but if a landlord doesn't want to add it, doesn't want to add it, just find some other stuff. Our guide, marriageimmigrationlaw.com. Go to download the guide over there. It's a free guide. It has ideas for other things too. Mina says, in my online account for adjustment, they say interview step complete. I never done one. What does it mean? The online system is not reliable, so there's just no answer for that one. Does SSN affect with the new, I don't know, FVW? You got to ask your full question in one place. User 8 says, how does the Stokes interview get the verdict? The officer makes a determination, or they might send you out for additional, they might send it out for government to investigate you too. So eventually they'll make a decision. Vandy says, how do I move my application to a new embassy? Abu Dhabi is taking too long. Well, you can't necessarily move it to an embassy. You have to be like, have authorization to live in another country for extended period of time. You ask that that embassy to take the, you either ask the embassy or the embassy itself, the National Visa Embassy, to if they'll transfer it. They'll ask that you have some sort of address or phone number and ability to be in that country. You could ask for it, but something to do. Vito says, law does that affect about deportation? No, there's no new Trump law because Trump's not in power yet, so I don't know what you're asking for. Shani says, if I applied my marriage case in Georgia, how long is it taking my green card timeline? RN? I don't know. Vandy's have been waiting for an interview 2 years Abu Dhabi. 2 years to 2 years, a couple months is how long Abu Dhabi's taking. So you'll probably get an interview in a couple months. Melly says, what happens if you got approved to reopen and dismissal without prejudice with the new updates? That's a very what kind of case did you have? What was the basis of renewal? Where is it at? Is it with the courts? Is it with BIA? Is it with USCIS? Which new update are you talking about? So our lawyer in private really as your question is just not the place for that, something complicated like that. Fatima says, is it easy to win asylum on a visitor visa? Being on a visitor visa or any kind of visa or even lawful entry has nothing to do with your ability to win asylum case. It's not easy or hard. You need to have a good asylum case and it's on a good basis and be able to explain it, the reason for asylum, and that's that, Fatima. So what you're asking for is just has nothing to do with your case. Bonita says, how do you think the Trump administration will affect the timeline for marriage green card case? They'll probably increase timelines because they'll like have more processing and more interviews, that kind of stuff. Brown says, do I have to go through the embassy for a new medical exam or just schedule a new one on my own? Why do you need a medical exam, Brown? Where are you? What's going on with the case? What's going on? Melly with prosecutorial discretion. I don't know, Melly. You got to talk with the attorney in private to review your whole case. Susanna said, and it's like there's no new law, so it's new updates. So I'm not sure what's going on. Maybe update your case, but probably not. So we got to see what's going on in private. And we don't handle court cases, so I recommend consulting another attorney. Hyan says, I received an RFE from the out-of-state field office, parent of a U.S. citizen. I verify how long the approval take, however long they want it to take. There's no answer to that question. Susanna says, false claim, 62C Port of Entry. Application was withdrawn instead of ER, DACA, and AP. Any defense? Approved I-130. If they had a finding of false claim and you didn't like withdraw that false claim fast enough and they documented, then you're completely out of luck. But if there's evidence that you say, okay, I started a false claim, but I withdrew that claim like in a timely fashion, and I was honest, then maybe claim there was no false claim. So you have to see the transcript of what happened and hopefully win it. But false claims are a risky thing. If they don't accept that and you tell the government, they can just put you in deportation, kick you out. Decent Lady says, if my father is disabled and he wants to sponsor his elder kids here in the U.S., can he do that? Yeah, disability itself doesn't make a difference. You could sponsor. But what do you mean sponsor? You mean petition or financial sponsor? Those are different things. I mean, if he's petitioned, he'll need to be a sponsor as well for affiliate support, but you could use a joint sponsor for that. So this terminology is really important because like everyone says sponsorship, but it's being a petitioner. And then so yeah, you could petition family members. Yeah. Munther, good to see you, brother. Slam Boss, hope you're doing great. Thank you. My diversity visa interview is in 13 hours. Good luck. I'm on the road right now from Toronto to Montreal. I see the DS5530 coming a mile away, but here we are. Well, good luck. Please keep us posted on what happens at the end from Munther. Good to see you. Paula says, do you think Trump in office will affect current submit applications? I don't know. It's not about what I think. We just got to see what happens. Do you have offices in Georgia? No, we don't. But all the kind of cases we handle, our location doesn't matter. Van D says, so at this point, would you not recommend changing the embassy? I can't give a recommendation for anybody. It's not my client. It's up to you, though, if you want to risk it. I mean, some people do, and it works out better. But one is, I'm a client, so I can't give recommendations. And two, it's going to be a personal choice how much you want to risk it. And we got to talk about other stuff, too. So it's more context. I can't just, if someone comes to me, head hurts, I can't say, okay, take aspirin. I have to be like, okay, like what's going on? Why does it hurt? So like if you're a doctor, I can't just say, well, take aspirin because you might allergy to aspirin and then end up killing you. So I can't give recommendations here. Wabi says, good morning. Good morning to you too. Although it's good afternoon here right now. How long does the I-751 take to be approved? 6 months to 4 years. Braun says, my embassy told me to get a new medical or file the I-61 waiver. It's not or. I mean, the medical is the medical. So you have to get a waiver approved. You got to get the waiver approved. Once that's approved, then you get the medical. So you have to do both. Myron says, is it better to enter USCIS asylum with or without an interpreter if my English is good? I don't know. I haven't spoken with you. I don't know if your English is good enough or not. But if you could properly explain yourself, and that's fine. But not having ever talked to you in person to test your ability to speak English and grilled you on questions that could put you on your toes, get you like worked up and forget your English because it's your second language, I can't make that kind of recommendation. So you do what's best for you, bro. Yeah, protect your interests. Vandy says we are DQ since 23. Okay, that's government. Fatima says, we already answered your question. Is it easier to win an asylum interview from Qatar? It doesn't matter. There's no Fatima. It really depends on your actual asylum application, what you said in there, and what the claims are and stuff like that. So don't think about in the way you're doing it. It's easy for this or easy for that. It's like, do you have a good case? That's what it's about. Fawcett, FF Bubba says, I recently started, let's see, to get stopped by U.S. Customs every time. Yeah, do what's called a DHS trip request to fix that. But I would need to review your case, see what's going on. Okay, Van D says, Glock 25 wants to move embassy. You can try moving your case to Armenia. Contact the National Visa Center. I've had people in that scenario that you're in have an interview quickly after doing that, but I can't guarantee that's going to happen. CU says, other than marriage, asylum, 245I, what options are available for a tourist visa overstay for a green card? Can they adjust through consular? Less than 6 months overstay over a year? Can they? So they could maybe do consular, but if they overstayed over 6 months or a year, they'll be subject to bans. So that's for green cards to be tough. It's not going to happen anytime soon. So they got to watch out for that. There's a U visa, so victims of crimes, or T visas, victims of sexual trafficking. So there's stuff like that. Shazia says, my both asylum and SI-based green card cases are pending. If I get one, how about the second? Well, you won't need the second. You just get canceled. That'll get canceled. Brown says, I'm in El Salvador currently. The officer refused my visa, but gave me. So a waiver, you need to get the waiver approved. The medical is something you'll need to do because the existing medical you did is going to expire by the time waiver is approved. But you should definitely have not left the United States. If you need a waiver, you should have been talking with a lawyer way back when your petition was first filed. So schedule a private consultation about your case. Vandy says, are you Iranian? Yes, my background is Iranian. Bobby says, I have a question. I applied for my wife's visa. They gave me a 221G for a year and a half, and they gave me email saying to give them a pass for a medical exam. I arrived at Djibouti, gave them. So it's 2 weeks and a half. What should I do? I cannot afford to stay. Yeah, it sucks when they do that. They tell you to come, and then you're waiting, and then it takes 2.5 weeks. Try emailing and calling them or something, see what happens. But I've had people wait 3.5 weeks, 4 weeks. It's very tough because it's a bunch of expense and costs you didn't expect. Vivian says, I missed my biometric appointment due to office closures. What do you advise me to do? Contact USCIS and call them up and see if they could schedule a new one. They'll probably just automatically do it. Okay. Nick says, hi, John. 2 minor overstays. Is it an issue for citizenship interview? I don't know what minor overstays are. Your definition of a minor overstay might be different from mine. So schedule a private consultation so we can see what's going on. Bandy says, after how many years can asylum visit Iran again? It's not really, all I can say is the rules. It says if you're an asylee, you shouldn't use the protections of your home country. You should use their passport. I'll leave it at that. FF says, I recently started getting stopped by U.S. Customs every time I travel national. I'm a U.S. citizen. DHS trip. Go to that website and fill that out. Mr. Ray says, can someone join the military with a green card extension? Yes. Eduardo says, hi, undocumented says 3, unlawful entry, own a business that has 4 citizens. What are my options? Not much. Schedule a private consultation, but I've kind of gone through this already today, so I want to get some other questions. But a waiver if you marry a U.S. citizen, if you're a victim of a crime, thinking that might be something to do. You might have a 245I exception to a family member or something like that, but it's difficult. Mina says, I have an asylum case before adjustment. Do I have to cancel it? Yes. If I have an asylum case before AOS, do I have to cancel it? If yes, how? I'm not sure what you mean, asylum case before AOS. I'm not sure what that means. Shadi says, we are answering your question. RC is applying for law school this fall. Any advice? No, just, come work on always make yourself a better person in every way possible, other than law. Vandy says, after how many years can asylum? I already answered your question. Vandy, answer your question. Okay, if you're getting repeat questions, I answer. Sorry, I have to knock you guys off and can't prevent you from asking questions. SH says, hey, I have a green card and waiting for refugee travel document. If I leave, can they deny my entry? Yeah, you need, they can't deny your entry. The problem with refugee travel document is you're going to need that to, you're going to need the directly travel document, the visa, because then you have to use your foreign passport, which is frowned upon. Shazzy says, my both, I answer your question. Dad Fam says, my wife's I-130 for me was approved back in November. Estimate time for I-45 to approve. There's no estimate times. Devontae says, I'm based in Georgia. I want to book an appointment with you. Okay, go to jqqlaw.com/contact. Again, that's jqqlaw.com/contact and fill out the short questionnaire. We get started there about having a meeting and all that kind of stuff. Will the Lake and Riley Act apply to crimes other than theft? I haven't read the statute, so I don't know. John asks, hi, attorney, please, do you have any idea how long it takes for a various case? I don't have any idea how long case. Everything's going to change, so I don't know. Caesar says, I have a friend who overstayed tourist visa but already married, so are they hoping to have an employer sponsor her and her husband and child? I think they overstay for about a year or more. Yeah, they're out of luck. So an employer could do that, and then they go away 10 years outside the United States, and then, or if it's a H-1B or temporary work visa, they can request a waiver, but the waiver is going to take a year, and who knows if it's going to get approved. And by that time, the employer is not going to want to continue them. So they're in a very tough, bad situation. Seb says, wait time on vow applications. I don't know. Sheen Willie says, my son's case got approved yesterday. Spouse name not on the file. Now got the email. What can I do? Shannon Willie, I got to review your case to see what in the world happened there. You're welcome, John. Brian says, how fast are they processing marriage green card cases? It varies kind of case you have in background. Shaza says, how long I-130 is taking to approve? It depends on what kind of I-130 you have. Shenmue says, can I contact MVC if I didn't get an email above moving forward the case? If it's been long enough, yeah. Pap says, how do you know your interview is going well after the interview? I don't have to be there and I know your case, I can tell you. MS507 says, someone was deported due to I-130 fraud and they ever get other benefits from I-130? No, I-130 fraud is 204C, probably marriage fraud, what you're talking about. And once you have marriage fraud, you're banned, essentially. Hope 4S says, I'm a U.S. citizen. I applied I-130 for spouse. They have a deportation order from asylum working, pay taxes. So I don't know if it's serious going on in your case, because if they have a deportation order, I got to see if it's lawful. There's a lot that has to be known about the case, so it's not something I can answer here. Bobby says, but I check online, they still refuse. So what is the issue? I don't know. That's the embassy, Bobby. That's just how difficult they are. Danny says, I have DACA and they approved my advanced parole. The date is until next month. 26 will be fine. I don't know. I can't guess the future, what's bad or not. Hope for best in any deportation. I don't remember your question, but yeah, that's always a worry. I mean, if you got a deportation order, that's a risk. You're on priority for Trump. Dad says, I know someone that has expired green card for a year. What should they do? They should schedule a private consultation so we can talk about why they have an expired green card and how to fix it. Sharp says, I-765 is pending for 6 months. Parent of USC, is that normal? Yeah, timelines, everything is normal for timelines. Papa says, how do you know they answer your question? Vandy says, how easy is it for Iran to get asylum at the border of Mexico? I don't know. I don't answer a question about how easy something is. If they have a good case or something, they can do it. Danny says, I have DACA, and they approved my advanced parole. Okay, answer your question. Iman says, how long should you wait to apply for adjustment of status after marriage? The timeline it has nothing to do with the wait after marriage. It has more bearing to do on your whole background if you have your paperwork in order. Charity says, can someone on STEM OBT work 2 jobs at the same time? If they notify the government and adjust their I-20s for it, it's maybe possible, but you got to ask to talk with your school's DSO. Fabio said, I filed for VAWA 3 years ago. It's improved. I don't do VAWA cases myself. I like to talk about that in these live shows. Octa says, we answer your question. Nick says, how to adjust 15 and 17-year-old child overstay ESTA citizenship interview this month this issue. So if you're a U.S. citizen and your minor children that you're applying for are ESTA overstays, they file for adjustment of status and they get a green card. But I need to know more facts about your case to see if that falls within the perimeters of that. ABC says, hello again. How long will it take from submitting documents to the embassy to be approved? Depends on the embassy, how long they want to take and how good a case you have. And if you mess up with submitting documents to the embassy, we submit documents to the National Visa Center and they documentary qualify us like a few weeks later. But I have people who do it on their own all the time. It takes a year for them to get documents qualified because they keep uploading the wrong documents. So it's just not a fixed timeline. It depends on how well things you do and the embassy, how backed up they are. Papa, answer your question already. Mondiz, answer your question. Tamala said, if you're on holding a removal, am I part of the Trump's plan? If you have with, probably not. Locke says, hello, how long will it take after submitting documents to NBC to be approved to interview? Depends on your however long the embassy. These questions depend on the government and how much space and time they have to deal with your case. So, for example, when you're dealing with the National Visa Center and consular processing, some embassies are faster. And then, so if you're in Europe, it's much faster. If you're from Iran, Pakistan, Africa, India, China, it's going to be much longer. And for the embassies over there. And secondly, I don't know what kind of case you have. So you might have a case where you can submit documents to the National Visa Center, but your case is not going to be current for another 3-4 years. So they're not going to even schedule your interview for another 3 more years. So a lot of these questions we're asking is huge amount of variables. And one is you're not giving me enough information to even give the basic answer to your question. And secondly, it's up to the embassy at the end of the day. So whatever I say doesn't matter. And he says, which is faster, consular processing or adjustment for parent? Adjustment. Right now, 4 years ago it was consular processing, so right now it's adjustment. Nick says, do I need to bring a child at a combo interview? Both cases are ISM pending. I don't know. I don't know the case and details. Probably better to bring him. Why not? But I need to know more about what's appropriate for your case to do. I know someone who got arrested after he got his citizenship. Would he get deported back? It depends. I mean, if he just got arrested, if he's a citizen gets arrested, no. But if he got arrested for crimes committed before he got his citizenship, maybe you won't get. I mean, you have to go through the deportation process. Not only to just pick you up and throw you out of the country, you got to go through a long, convoluted process and argue for your defense. Donovan says, how long after arriving in the U.S. before I can adjust my status? I don't know what kind of case you have. It depends. Schedule probation. Navi says, submit all the documents. How long to India? I don't know. Shane says, are served time here if convicted and imported? Shine, I need to see what's going on with it. I need to talk with the lawyer. Our study says, married to a citizen, apply for residence. Can I still qualify for work permit? If you file for adjustment of status from I-485, you could request the work permit with the application filing. Usman says, they approved my citizenship. I haven't sent a letter. In New York, how long will it take? I don't know what the timelines for OCMA's New York are right now. Mina says, I have a asylum case pending, but I just applied for adjustment status marriage. Do I have to cancel? If yes, how? No, don't cancel it at all. Hopefully finish your adjustment case. And once you have a green card in your hand, then you notify the asylum office. CU says, can the tourist visa overstay get sponsored for a working visa? Can they stay here or do consular process with advance to apply? Well, they can't do anything in the United States with a work visa because they didn't maintain lawful status. They'll need to go through the embassy. But once they leave the United States, they're going to be subject to a 3 or 10-year bar. And so they'll need a waiver for that for get the work visa. But the waiver submission, if they have a good waiver case, takes like 9 to 12 months if they're going to get approved. So there's like a mess of stuff that's going to follow them. Submitted. Okay. Elisa says, I'm an F1 student and I got married to a U.S. citizen. Can I quit school after applying adjustment status? You can, but we prefer that people maintain their status if they can. But if you file for adjustment of status, you don't need to maintain the existing status anymore. RSA when getting approved for I-130, MVC, I-130, I-130 is approved, deal with the MVC, National Visa Center, then you do an interview, and that's it. I have a guide on this, marriageimmigrationlaw.com. Down the guide, it goes through all that. You're welcome, C user. Okay, take 1 or 2 more questions. We'll end the show. NG says, can I travel to Canada with just my green card driver's license, come out of the country? You're going to need a inevitably, but I can't talk about Canada's immigration requirements, so you have to know that. Applied for expedite for asylum court 2 months ago, no response. I don't know. I don't know the answer to that. Donovan, how long after arrival in the U.S. can I adjust my status, get EB1, apply for a green card? Schedule private consultation to discuss your case. It depends on a lot of things. It's not something I talk about here. SM says, are permanent residents okay with Trump administration? Probably, as long as you don't do bad things, you're okay. Our question, but I don't know what to tell you. Yeah. Zishan here, been a year since I-765 help. Yeah, that's backed up sometimes. It's weird it's taking that long. I know it says, I'm in the U.S., filed I-130 in May, then filed I-485 on August through LPR. I'm turning 21 soon. I'll age out. If you file for adjustment of status, your age will be locked in, but I'm not sure exactly what the details of your case are, so schedule a private consultation. Danielle says, can I cancel VAWA, lied about to VAWA and petition I-130 with my husband? Schedule private consultation with the attorney. If you timely retract the fraud there, might be come back, but it doesn't look good for your case. User, if somebody married a U.S. citizen but no file depart, I'm not sure what your question is. Vandy says, what would you suggest for my Iranian cousin who got denied twice of tourist visa? I don't have any suggestions. Dulce says, how long does a motion to vacate take? I don't know. I don't handle court cases. It depends on the judge and stuff anyways. And Nexa says, married to U.S. citizen, 6 kids. Congrats. 3 citizens. ISM found pending, 2 overstay ESTA, interview N400 this month for me. My case may be a problem. Nexa, this is complicated enough where you should schedule a private consultation. CU says, can a TN visa holder get sponsored for a green card by employer or a spouse that got approved for a green card? Can they adjust status? Or they have to? I mean, if they're here in the U.S. lawfully, they could probably adjust status, but I'd want to talk with the person to know all their case. Love America says, guardian case, explain, please. I'm not sure what a guardian case is. Mina says, thank you for your time, sir. You answered my question. I'm grateful for that. Stay blessed. God bless you, Mina. Thank you so much. If you're here, please review. Put 5 stars on Google. JQK Law on Google and just put 5 stars. You don't have to write anything. That'd be really helpful. Bexod says, hello, I married 2023 December to American girl. After 3 months, she passed away. I'm sorry to hear that. Can I apply for a green card? Yeah, your case will automatically be updated to a widower case. You have to notify the government that they became the death certificate. How long does it take? I don't know. The government's inconsistent on timelines, but you got to notify them and do it in a timely fashion. You have like 2 years after the death. Nick, they said consultation number, and thanks so much for your time. Next, go to jqklaw.com/contact, jqklaw.com/contact, and fill your information there. Consultation fees do apply, probably $350 in your case, but just schedule that. Dio says, hello, sir. Will I be able to remove condition of my green card? I threatened my husband with a knife. He did not call police, but he reported me to USCIS. I've had an exact case like that approved, but it's case-by-case basis and government's discretion. Can I return to U.S. if my green card expires while it's outside? Vijor, we got to talk. There's strategies around that, so please schedule a private consultation. You're welcome, ABC. Okay, we're going to end the show in a second. We're running a little bit over. Anwar, you're welcome. So Daniel says, sorry, I meant lawyer lied to me about VAWA. I don't feel comfortable with it. Daniel, schedule a private consultation to see what happens. So we got to talk about it. Nick says, all 50 states? Yeah. This is all federal law. We can help you. Can you be denied entry with AP I-485? Yeah, you could always be denied entry. Probably not, but that's always a possibility. Rock says, how long will it take at underage show to come to us? I don't know. Sonia says, thank you for your time. You're welcome, Sonia. God bless you. And last question, user 38. I have a removal order. I don't do removal orders, asylum, VAWA. I don't handle any of those cases. So best to talk with another attorney about that. Well, thank you everyone for joining us. God bless. Be safe. We'll be back next Tuesday on TikTok. I'm not sure what's going on if we'll be back or not, but if you're watching on TikTok, follow us on Instagram, JQK Law. Follow us on YouTube, JQK Law, U.S. Immigration Talk, to catch up there. You can find more of these lives. You know, we started live. I'll probably do a TikTok on this, but I started live right when the pandemic happened because like the business went like down because people were all afraid no one's hiring immigration lawyers. So I'm like, you know what? I'll just go on TikTok and see what's going on. And so TikTok really helped boost my business and we got a lot of attention. It got me more comfortable doing videos and talking with people like this. So it's a shame that they're removing it. I think it's a great app, frankly. It's a little addicting. But yeah, TikTok is great. It sucks that, you know, the people in power don't want people to have this kind of freedom. But that's the nature of the world. That's the nature of the beast. Hopefully things will then. God bless. Be safe. I'll see you on QC user. I'll keep seeing you on YouTube for sure. All right, everyone. God bless. Be safe. And we'll take it from there. Bexod says, have you worked with a widow case in your experience? Yeah. Can you tell us information? Widow case. What is your recommendation? Schedule. It's no recommendation. You got to do the case, Bexod. So schedule a private consultation, jklaw.com/contact. We do it there. Now it says active duty military, 8 years. My mom's been going through the process 3 years. Is that normal? Probably. I don't know what your case is exactly, where she is and all that kind of stuff. So I don't know. At least schedule a private consultation. If you're active duty military, email me evidence you're in the military. We'll have a free chat. I do free consultations for military personnel. All right, everyone. Be safe. God bless. I'll see you all next week. Bye-bye.